Hello everyone and welcome to the class. Today that we are going to start our class is with the topic the first law of thermodynamics. Now let's try to understand this law with an example, real life example before going into the statement of this law. Now let's imagine that a thermodynamic system is having an internal energy, is in a state in which the internal energy of the system is represented by U1. What I'm trying to say, this is a thermodynamic system in which a material is confined, is enclosed. Let's say this is a gaseous metal which is ideal in nature, and this is in a state A. The internal energy of this thermodynamic system is U1. So U1 is the internal energy of the system. Now, if we heat this system, some certain amount of heat will be transferred to this system. Let's say that Q amount of heat is absorbed by the system due to the heating. Now, as the system has absorbed this Q amount of heat energy, the total energy of the system will increase. The internal energy of the system will increase. So, after this absorption, the total energy of the system will be U1 plus Q. This is going to be the total energy of the system after this transformation, thermodynamic process. In the second step, in the second process, W amount of work is done on this system. So let's say W is the amount of work done on the system. Now, as W amount of work is done on the system, the energy equivalent to W amount of work will be stored inside the system, which will result in further increase in the internal energy. So now the total energy will be the total energy of the system will further increase, and it will be represented by, let's say, U2. So U2 is going to be the final total energy or final internal energy of the system. And this will be equal to the U2 equals to the initial internal energy U1 plus Q, heat energy that was absorbed by the system, plus work energy W that was also stored inside the system. So this is going to be the final energy of the system after the transformation. Or this can also be written as U2 minus U1 equals to Q plus W. Now U2 minus U1 is nothing but the change in the internal energy that has occurred due to the heat energy that was absorbed by the system during this transformation, and the work energy that was stored inside this system during the transformation, in which work has been done on this system. And due to this transformation, internal energy has been changed from U1 to U2, and delta U is the change in the internal energy, which is equivalent with the heat energy that is absorbed and the work energy that is been stored. Now, this is very logical for us because we already know that whenever we provide some amount of energy or we do some kind of process in which energy transfer happens, energy just not vanishes from this system or not created within this system out of nowhere. One form of energy transformed to another form of energy, and thus the process proceeds. We all know that thing, and we all know that thing from the law of conservation of energy. That law is the first law of thermodynamics. That law, the conservation of energy, is the first law of thermodynamics, which says that total energy in the universe is always constant. That is, at the beginning of the universe, the amount of the energy that was, it is still constant. Only one form of energy is transforming to another form and vice versa. Energy cannot be created nor can be destroyed, only transform from one form to another form. That can be seen from this thermodynamic process that we see, that we just saw, in which in a thermodynamic system we provided heat energy and work energy. That two form of energy then gets transformed in the form of internal energy, and the system stored that amount of energy as internal energy of the system. And that's why this equation is known as the mathematical expression of the first law of thermodynamics. Now, in this equation, if you see that finite amount of heat energy has been provided, finite amount of work energy is stored within the system, and as a result of that, finite amount of internal energy is changed. If this all change and occur, if this entire process happens in an infinitesimally small amount, in that case this equation will transform to du equals to delta q plus delta w. Same expression, but this expression is represented when we are considering infinitesimally small amount of change, that is for a reversible process. Now, we all know that W equals to minus P external V1 integration V1 to V2 dV. This is the expression for work done, pressure volume work done. If we substitute this equation in the main thermodynamic mathematical expression, we can find delta U equals to Q minus of Px integration V1 to V2 dV. This is another form of the mathematical expression for first law of thermodynamics. So we just studied that the law of conservation of energy is nothing but the first law of thermodynamics also, and mathematically is represented as delta U equals to Q plus W when we are talking about a finite amount of change, a process in which finite amount of change is occurring. If we talk about infinite similarly small change, in that case the expression becomes du equals to delta Q plus delta W. Or this expression also can be written as delta U equals to Q minus P external integration V1 to V2 dV. Now we are going to apply the first law of thermodynamics in the few well-known thermodynamic process. The first thermodynamic process that we are going to apply the first law is the adiabatic process. In adiabatic process, no heat is exchanged between the system and the surroundings. So the value of Q is 0. So in the first law of thermodynamics, the mathematical expression of first law of thermodynamics, it becomes delta U equals to 0 plus W. That is, the change in the internal energy occurs due to the work done on the system or work by the system. Is the system work the if the system do the work, that is the work done is by the system, in that case the work will be done by the system on the expense of its own internal energy. The internal energy of the system in that case will decrease. If the work is done on the system, the energy equivalent to the work done on the system will be stored inside the system and in the form of internal energy. So as a result, total energy of the system will increase, total internal energy of the system will increase. So this is the adiabatic process. The second process, thermodynamic process that we are going to do is the cyclic process. In cyclic process, initial state is equal to the final state. Cyclic process is multi-step process and initial state and final steps are equal. So the initial internal energy and the final internal energy are equal. So delta U equals to U2 minus U1 is actually 0 in for cyclic process. So we can write delta U plus, sorry, delta U equals to Q plus W equals to 0. That is, Q equals to minus of W. That is, the work done on the system results in release of the energy, release of heat energy. Work done on the system results in the release of heat energy by the system, or work done by the system results in absorption of heat energy from the surround, absorption of heat energy by the system. This is for cyclic process. Now the third process, thermodynamic process that we are going to talk about is isobaric process, isochoric process. In isochoric process, delta V equals to 0, or in case of infinitesimal small value, dV equals to 0. Therefore, W equals to minus of Px integration V1 to V2 dV equals to 0. No work is done in isochoric process. This will result in delta U equals to Q plus 0, delta U equals to Q. That is, the energy, internal energy, change in internal energy depends on the heat absorbed or the heat released by the system. Is heat absorbed by the system, the internal energy of the system will increase. If heat is released by the system, then the internal energy of the system decreases. The next process that we are going to talk about is the free expansion of an ideal gas. Free expansion process is the expansion of gaseous material against no pressure. There is zero pressure out in the surroundings and the gas is expanding. This kind of expansion is known as free expansion. So in free expansion, the external pressure is 0. If the external pressure is 0, in that case W equals to minus P external integration V1 to V2 dV is also 0. In that case, delta U will be depend only on the heat absorbed in the system. But free expansion process is also isothermal. That is, there is no change in the temperature throughout the system. As internal energy U depends on temperature. Internal energy of system depends only on temperature. As it depends only on temperature, and free expansion is an isothermal process. No temperature changes throughout this process. The temperature remains same. So no internal energy will also change. So delta U is also 0. So free expansion process, free expansion of an ideal gas. That is a very important thing, of an ideal gas. Is adiabatic and isothermal in nature. Why adiabatic? As no work is happening, the change in internal energy is governed by the heat absorbed of heat released. Now, as no internal energy is also changed, this will result in no exchange of heat also. As no exchange of heat between the system and surroundings is an adiabatic process by definition. So, free expansion process of ideal gas by definition is also an adiabatic and isothermal process. The last type of process that we are going to talk about is the isothermal expansion and compression. Now, I do not need to talk about much more about this, just isothermal process. Now, in isothermal process, delta T is 0. That is, no change in temperature happens. As delta T is 0, delta U is also going to be 0, because internal energy change in internal depend on the temperature. There is no change in the temperature, results in no change in the internal energy. Delta U is 0. As delta U is 0, Q plus W is also 0 according to the first law of thermodynamics. This will result in Q equals to minus W. That is, the when heat is absorbed by the system will do the work. When heat is released by the system, in that case the work will be done on the system. So these are the few of the process of thermodynamic process that is well known to us, and if we apply first law of thermodynamics, the this thermodynamic process will be governed on the basis of the first law of thermodynamics in this manner.